Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a new week. Rise and shine with Global Entertainment News Morning Box. I am your host, Bisola, ready to kickstart your day with all the fresh news and stories. And right here with me, bringing our host back to the studio is Let's dive into today's headline from fresh from the nation and top story from the nation. Lagos doctor declared 3 days warning strike over salary deduction. Medical doctors in the employ of Lagos State government will from today embark on a 3 days warning strike to protest what they describe as illegal and disrespectful salary deductions by the state. The strike announced by the Medical Guide, the umbrella body of medical and dental practitioners in the state public service, will begin at 8 a.m. and end at the same time on Thursday. At a news conference held at the Guard Secretariat in Lagos, Chairman Dr. Japhet Olugboji said the action follows series of failed attempts to address the matter through dialogue. He said the disagreement began in April when the state government unilaterally deducted part of doctors' salaries, although the deductions were later reversed following what he described as spirit intervention and strategic engagement. The situation relapsed in July with a fresh round of deductions, this time without prior notice or explanation. The doctors listed key demands, including the immediate reversal of the July deductions and the full payment of the 12-month reversed consolidation medical salary structure, arrears owed to honorary consultants at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital.
It's a very sad one to actually find the Lagos State medical personnel to actually be complaining of the salary reduction for not just reasons. And I feels like our government shouldn't be at this edge of actually being held responsible for late salary payment and also deduction of salary from their workers, which is very, very sad. And the state that the country is now, we are facing a whole lot of things for medical practitioner and all that should actually be coming out to protest for their own salary for the job that they have been done that is not well paid, or it's been deducted, or it's being held from them, that what is during rightfully theirs is not given to them. And it's really a sad one. Our government shouldn't be involved in this. If they are already facing lack of staff in the medical field, and then now this is going to give them more reason for them to actually leave the country, because they feel like those that have left the country are living a better life now than them that still shows that they trust their government to actually provide them for what they need, and then it still ended in this. And the Lagos State government needed to do better than this, not for them to be called out in things like this.
All right, moving on. Police naps Lagos socialites over alleged 477 million naira land fraud. Operative at the First Criminal Investigation Department (FCID), Alagbon, Lagos State, have arrested a popular socialite over his alleged involvement in a 447 million naira land fraud. The suspect, Olaseyin Johnson Olayinka, alias Abdul Abel, was arrested during an operation led by Chief Superintendent of Police Taiwo Oyewole at a residence in Victoria Island, where he was allegedly hiding. It was gathered that the Assistant Inspector General (AIG) FCID Mrs. Margaret Okchala ordered Olayinka's arrest following a petition by Doyin Investment Group of Companies.
Land fraud in Lagos is a very common thing. Like those ones that are actually going into the real estate, and then they say that they want it to be something like that. I always say that I'm actually a victim of one of the companies that I thought that it was giving an investment, and like you needed to buy co-own a land with some other young and all that, and then you'll be able to get your return in the next 5 years. But within 2 years, they have already shut down, and then the liquidate cannot even. And this is one thing I feel like it has to become into the notice of the Lagos State government and also the security personnel that all these things needed to be made aware, because I feel like this is now the new scam that is in Lagos. Let me just put it like that. That is now in Lagos, that when it comes to acquiring land that you know, giving out land that you know that is not in your possession, and it feels like you can actually just take money from people, and then this is a huge sum of money, 447 million naira for a land plot. It's really a bad one because many people that are outside the country feels like they wanted to buy and build a house or a company and all that for the country. So and then you ended up into those that says that they are actually dealing with. It's really bad.
Yeah, it's
All
so
those
sad.
people, there are so many of them now in the country that you don't even know which one is real. So the Lagos state government needed to come out and actually fish out the fake one, and then allow those that are genuinely into this real estate of a thing to do their business, not by. It's really sad.
Yeah, it's not only affecting Lagos alone, but we are just seeing the Lagos, and all I will employ our government to do is just to take proper actions on this. So our next story. NDLEA arrests Chinese businessman, 80-year-old grandma. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) has arrested a Chinese businessman, Lang Ka-yu, and an 80-year-old grandma, Mrs. Grace Ekpeme, for dealing in illicit drugs. Director, Media and Advocacy, NDLEA Headquarters, Abuja, Femi Babafemi, in a statement said they were arrested during an operation and a consignment of Colorado, a synthetic strain of cannabis hidden in moi moi sachets, and Canadian loud, another strong strain of cannabis concealed in canned food items imported from Canada, were seized. According to the statement, Lang was arrested by NDLEA operatives at the arrival hall of the Muritala Muhammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos last Friday. The suspect, who arrived Nigeria from Bangkok via Dubai, United Arab Emirates, on Emirates airline flights, is a Chinese naturalized and based in Malaysia, but flew to Thailand where he picked two suitcases filled with 50 parcels of loud, weighing 26.10 kilograms, before heading to Nigeria by UAE. So bad.
The kind of drug dealing in Nigeria this time around is really, really alarming. Even though you are still going to feel like the NDLEA are actually doing their best to actually combat this thing, but it's really on on let me say it's not expected in the way that it's actually being tackled in most cases. I feels like there's more to this that needed to be tight, more security personnel and all that. We needed to equip the boarding pass into the modern technology that's being used in every corner of the world, their airports and all that, so that those things can actually be caught. Because more of it, the one that you think that is being caught now, there are others that are actually make their way without being caught into Nigeria. And then it is now left for more of security checkpoints in every corner of the airport before you even drive past from the parking lot, and all that should be well checked and all that. So kudos to the NDLA, but we know that this thing is still is
Still
widespreading. It's widespreading everywhere, and then we really need more positive news from this.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so our top story from the Daily Trust. Electricity supply worsens despite high tariff. From industrial hubs in Kano, Borno, and Kaduna states to households in Lagos, Ogun, Benue, and Plateau, residents and small business owners who spoke to Daily Trust expressed frustration over a system they said had failed them. But the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, through his media aide, Bolaji Tunji, said the government was trying to resolve the problems, emphasizing that we won't get there overnight. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had, on February 9, 2024, signed the Nigerian Electricity Act Bill to decentralize power generation and allow the state to take charge of their needs. The increase in electricity tariff for Band A customers have also elicited complaints from consumers who said it was taking a huge toll on their finances. Last Thursday, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NERC) had said the Enugu Electricity Regulatory Commission (EERC) lacks the regulatory power to fix the electricity price. where the power is generated and transmitted from the national grid. This followed the reduction of tariff for Band A customers in the state.
This is electricity of the thing that we have been talking about since last year, or even before the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually take the state. Is that it's becoming a very, should I say, a disappointing discussion for our leaders, and the government should actually be having this topic at this big 2025 that we are in now. I feels like this thing is not something that we have to start talking about who is on the band A and who is on the band B or in the band E or whatsoever. This thing is something that needed immediate action and whatsoever that needed to be actually tackled, this electricity of the thing, because right now we have lived in this kind of a mentality in Nigeria that the moment that when we have a 12 hours light, we are going to be praising the NEPA and then saying that they actually try today, we have lights for 12 hours, and that is not even supposed to be. You see people living with poverty and then trying to actually justify the act of it. The governments are working and then they are trying their best, and still yet we are facing a lack behind. Let me say we are lacking behind in a lot of things, not just the fact of this electricity of it, but in every aspect of the country that you know that this can actually be an positive impact to the country, but still yet we are falling behind it all. When we go to other countries, we see how the place is, the security and everything, the healthcare and all that, and then we are not ready to actually put in the work to help us into a better things that we develop this country, but still yet we are bringing one excuse or the other to try to make it look like they are doing their best, whereas they are not. They are not.
Yeah, it's wrong. Moving on to our next story. 130 guards, policemen killed fighting banditry in Katsina State. The Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs in Katsina State, Dr. Nasir Muazu, disclosed this amid growing concerns over false narrative spreading on the social media. The statement condemned the activities of individuals using unverified reports to incite fear and undermine government efforts over insecurity in the state. Since Governor Diko Umaru Raja assumed office in 2023, significant progress has been made. At that time, all 24 LGAs in Katsina were affected by banditries. Today, several LGAs have stabilized, including Damusa, Jibia, Dasari, and Charanchi, the commissioner stated. He said Damusa, one of the worst hit local governments in the past, is now among those fully stabilized due to coordinated security operations involving the Nigerian Army, Police Air Force, DSS, and the Katsina Community Watch Corps. Nusa emphasized that the fight against insecurity has come to a high human cost. Over 100 members of the Community Watch Corps have died in active service. More than 30 police officers have also paid the ultimate price. Several soldiers are falling as well. These are not just numbers, they are the names and the faces of brave men who gave everything for the safety of others, he said.
I am not even supposed to actually laugh about it, but I'm looking at the well polished word
Words.
that actually came out of Mau's mouth, just to actually make the governor of that state, to look like he's actually working. Because all this thing is just another propaganda, or how should I say, hypocrisy of them that makes them wanted to make us feel that this is the work that they're supposed to do. We are not even supposed to be counting into hundreds of let me say, hundred of security personnel dying, and then we are still having more insecurities looming around the entire state and the countries. So if we are losing 100, I feels like there should have been a victory by now, that those insecurities or the boundaries and the headsmen has been wiped out from the country and there is safety. But you are trying to say that there have been a few out of the state, out of the, let me say, the local government area of this place, the few local government there has now been testified that there is peace, but not fully peace. Where, what about the rest? If you are painting this to actually suit your own narrative of being a governor of a state where there is no peace, when you walk around with armored, bulletproof cars and security personnel, just because you wanted to protect yourself, but the people that you are supposed to govern are not in a safe place. How would you come out and tell me that all those security personnel that have lost their life, they have a befitted burial? What they fight for and they got killed was still there and they are still fighting it up till now.
So sad.
It doesn't make any sense. You're just polishing those words to make the citizen feels like you're doing something, which
exactly.
you are not.
Knowing they're not even doing anything at all is wrong. So our next top story. Police arrest 6 officers for assaulting civilians in viral video. The command spokesperson, Edafe Bright, confirmed the arrest, stating the police were aware of the video circulating on social media, which showed officers engaging in unprofessional conduct. He said the incident, which occurred on July 27, 2025, at the Asaba Specialist Hospital, prompted the Commissioner of Police, Olufemi Abani-Wonder, to order the immediate identification and detention of the officer involved for disciplinary action. According to Edafe, the officer have been identified and are currently in custody, awaiting an orderly home trial. He added that the team leader and assistant superintendent of police have also been issued a query.
Police, let me say, police abuse and police brutality was this thing that was actually being causing an end-SARS the last time to actually end the police brutality. And then in this big, let me still say, in 2025, we are still hearing about police brutalities. It's no longer the end-SARS that is being brutalizing, but now when it comes to every aspect of the last time we talked about a soldier that is actually let me say abusing a couple in their own vehicle and saying that they didn't slow down while they see the
Traffic lights.
not even the traffic light, they see them driving through and then they didn't give way for them to pass through. And then these people on uniform have this kind of mentality that makes them feel that they are now above everyone the moment they give them that uniform and that name being a security agent or whatever it is, and then they have every right to abuse everyone, which in a working country, this is not even supposed to be happening. You're not even supposed to be scared of reporting an issue to the police that, okay, you're going to find yourself that, okay, because this person has more connection than you that actually have been offended, you have to face the trial for it. You are being used as a replacement. When they are talking about do not step on do not misuse the naira note, you find some people, the rich ones, being abusing the naira, but they go scot-free. But when it comes to the poor ones, you see the police ganging up, coming out here and there to say that, oh, you are being arrested for mutilating the nairas and all that. And here we are, still complaining about abuse coming from security personnel, those that are supposed to be protecting us and now the one against us.
We should not be running from them at all.
If we pull up a protest now, they are going to be the one to be shooting at us and says that we should not protest. What kind of a mentality is that? This is not supposed to be happening. If I would say, they should put these people on a proper check, a mental health check, to know that if they are capable of actually handling their duties. But if not, they should just eliminate them and then let us know that there's nothing. We are still facing insecurity, which the security personnel are not being able to take care of. Then let's just eliminate all of them and then know that all man for itself.
Well, you said it all. All right, viewers, thank you for joining us on the Breakfast Show today. I've been your host, Bisola. Be sure to join us again tomorrow. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates of Global Entertainment News TV. Have a blessed day. Bye.